In this short screencast, we are going to learn how to use the Guzzle HTTP client to communicate with the remote server. Instead of working with abstract examples, over the next 6 minutes or so, we are going to build a simple RSS feed reader from scratch using Guzzle. In doing so, we are going to learn how to use Guzzle's API to perform operations such as creating HTTP requests, extracting various details from HTTP responses, and lots more. I'll be using the Cloud9 IDE in the screencast, but you're free to use any IDE. Let's start by creating a new directory for our project. I'm going to call it My Reader. The easiest and quickest way to install Guzzle is by using Composer. Guzzle's page on Packagist contains the exact command we can use to add the latest version of Guzzle to our project. So let's copy it and paste it to start the installation. Now that Guzzle is installed and ready to use, let us create a page containing a text field where the user can enter the URL of an RSS feed. So create a new file called index.php and open it. We'll have to add the usual HTML boilerplate code containing a doc type, head, and body tags to this page. However, on Cloud9, I can simply type in an exclamatory mark and press Tab to automatically add all that code. You can use any title for this page. I'm going to say My RSS Reader here. Inside the body tag, create a form and add a text field to it. Set its name attribute to feed_URL. Let's also add a short label here. To allow the user to submit the form, add a submit button. So that's just an input tag with a type equal to submit. You can set its value to read. It's time to write some PHP code. So add PHP tags to your page now. Our Guzzle client should run only after the user submits the form. Therefore, let's add an if statement first to check if feed URL is available in the request array. Now, to be able to use Guzzle in this page, we need to include it here. However, because we used Composer to install Guzzle, we can simply include vendor/autoload.php and all our dependencies will be handled automatically. Next, create an instance of the Guzzle client using its constructor. It's always a good idea to add a custom user agent header to your client. So create an array and use the headers key to add a user agent header. You're free to use any string as the user agent of your client. I'm going to say My Reader. We can now use this instance of the Guzzle client to create HTTP requests. To create a new request, we can use the request method. We have to pass 2 arguments to it. As the first argument, we should pass the type of the HTTP request. For example, it could be a GET request, a POST request, or even a PUT or DELETE request. RSS feeds are usually available through GET requests, so let's say GET here. The second argument should specify the URL. Therefore, let's use the feed URL which is available in the request array. Once the method completes, it returns a response object. Let's name the object feed_response. We can use this object to perform operations such as checking if the request was successful, fetching the response headers, and fetching the actual response body. So let's first check if our request was successful. To do so, we can check if the getStatusCode method of the response object returns 200. If you're wondering why 200, it's because 200 is the HTTP status code for a successful request. Let us try to read a header now, say the content length header. This header might or might not be present in the response. Therefore, first use the hasHeader method to check if it exists. Once you're sure that it exists, use the getHeader method to get its value. The getHeader method actually returns an array, so we'll have to specify an index. We won't be doing anything with the content length, so let's simply echo it here. Let us now get the body of the response. To do so, use the getBody method of the response object. The getBody method actually returns a PSR7 stream object. However, we can easily use it as a string as well. Because we are working with RSS feeds, this string actually contains XML. And to parse the XML, we can use PHP's simple XML parser. So let's pass the string to the constructor of the simple XML element class. To extract information from this XML, we need to know its structure. So let's quickly open an RSS feed and examine it. I'm going to use SitePoint's RSS feed. As you can see, this XML has a channel element. And the channel element contains multiple item elements. Each item in turn has a title, a lot of other tags, and a description. That's all we need to know for now. So let's use a for each statement to loop through all the items in the RSS feed. To keep our code simple, let's just display the item's title and description. So use echo to first show the title. We can wrap the title in an h3 tag to make it stand out. Similarly, show the description after wrapping it in a p tag. Our simple RSS feed reader is ready. Let's run it and see if it works as expected. So open a new terminal and get inside your projects folder. Here, start the development server using PHP's -s option. You will have to pass a network interface and a port number to this command. Now that the development server has started, we can view our page. In the text field, type in the URL of an RSS feed. I'm going to use SitePoint's RSS feed again. If there are no errors in our code, we should now be able to read SitePoint's latest articles here. There. As you can see, thanks to Guzzle, we managed to build a working RSS feed reader using just a few lines of very readable code. I hope you found this screencast useful. Goodbye.